Well, good morning, everybody. So in our previous class, we started this secondary data. As I told you, secondary data is a data which is already collected by somebody for some purpose and which is available quickly and which is cheaper in nature as compared to primary data. And later, we went towards the next slide, that is types of secondary data or sources of secondary data. First one is internal data sources and second one is external data sources. In first one, we have seen the internal data sources of secondary data. They were sales figures, customer reports, trend data, sales reports, cost data, company reports, and MIS data. This we have discussed in our previous class. Along with this, we also discussed about the advantages of secondary data as well as disadvantages of secondary data, then characteristics of secondary data. The characteristics of secondary data were like you can gather secondary data from various sources like publications, newspapers, etc. It is a summary of a book or set of records. Collection of secondary data is less time consuming. It provides a larger database of information. The data cannot be personally checked and verified. In some cases, that data is not reliable. And then we moved towards the advantages of secondary data sources. It is already exist, so it saves the time. First advantage. It is often cheaper than doing primary research. It may allow you to access to the data you could not otherwise get. So it allows you some data which practically you cannot access. For example, census of India. Practically you can't go and collect it. Means practically you can't survey the whole country and collect the information. But you can access the data through website. Fine. And then we discussed about disadvantages of this secondary data sources. In some cases, it is very expensive. Scanner data. We took the example of Right to Information Act, and there we have seen to get the scanner data of 50,000 or 1 lakh pages per page. If it is 60 paisa or 1 rupee, then we have to pay huge amount. In those cases, it is very expensive, and you may have less control over how the data was collected. So most of the times validating the data is a biggest challenge in case of secondary data sources. There may be biases in the data that you don't know about it. Yeah, it happens when the data collection uh, is done by a person who is having biases, then the data may not be reliable. Its answers may not exactly fit your research questions. Absolutely, because whatever the answers you are expecting, it is not available everywhere. You have to write the answer or you have to find the answers for it, but it will give you some background or insight about the problem. It may be obsolete data. Sometimes the old data you may presume that new data and use it for your research. That's what we need to take utmost care while using the secondary data. Today we'll see the primary data collection methods. As we discussed the external data sources also, the external data sources were competitor information, government publications, commercial publications, trade association data, retail audits, directories. We took several examples and discussed about these sources. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes.
we'll
Yes,
move
sir.
towards the next slide. Data collection methods. The second data collection method is primary data. Data observed or collected directly from first-hand experience. In case of secondary data sources, usually somebody will collected that data and we use it. But in case of primary data, it is a first-hand data which is collected either by a researcher or by somebody for first time. and for a specific purpose. Got it? Now, methods of collecting primary data. There are 6 types of collecting primary data methods for your syllabus. Let us see one by one and their characteristics and their advantages and disadvantages. The first one is observation method. Second one, interview method. Third one, questionnaire method. Fourth one, schedules. Fifth one, consumer panels. And sixth one is projective techniques. Let's see the first method of collecting primary data. The first method of collecting primary data is observation method. What is this observation method? It is a method where the information collected without asking the questions. This method will not involve in asking the questions. This involves in watching people, noting and analyzing their reactions. The method used for collecting the data in terms of primary data involves watching, observing the people, their behavior, noting it and analyzing their reactions. It's called as observation method. It is useful to find out how people buy products, where they shop, what appeals them. Definitely, instead of asking the people that where did you buy this product, they may lie sometimes, they may not give you proper information, they may not remember. But in case of observation method, it is very useful for you to observe the people, how people buy the products, in which shop they enter, how do they enter, and what do they buy inside the shop, and what appeals them to go for a specific shop. Say for example, in a market, there are several shops of one, say textile or maybe apparel. Why one person particularly goes to one shop only? What appeals them? Is it because of brand name? Is it because he is familiar with that shop? Is it because somebody told him? So these all questions can be answered using the observation method. Can be carried out under controlled as well as uncontrolled conditions. Yeah, observation method is also used in applied science in terms of experiments in laboratory. Observation method is adopted to observe a particular chemical reaction or to observe a behavior of a creature. Got my point? And as well as uncontrolled conditions, that is in field. So in social science, we, we call it as an uncontrolled condition, that is a field. There also you can use observation method. For example, traffic audits, radio and TV panels, retail store audits. Let us take an illustration to understand the observation method. All of us wanted to know the importance of packaging of the product. If we ask the questions to the customers with the structured questionnaire, there are chances of getting some vague answers. So if we go for observation method and observe the people, how package influences the customer to go for a particular brand, then we will go to a retail mall and sit in a corner and observe the people, how do they inquire, how do they buy the products, how do they think to inquire or purchase a product. If the package is more attractive, then people will definitely go to that product and take and touch it, check it, and they may inquire. If the product packaging is shabby, then there are less chances of touching it, inquiring it, and thinking about it. Got it? So this is called observation method. And another example is uh, where the traffic is more. Say for example, in a market where several people walks in and walks out for shopping purpose. You sit in a corner and observe the people, their shopping pattern, their shopping behavior, their basket size, etc. So this is called observation method, and in this way observation method is used for collecting the information. Hope you are following. Any one of you switch on mic and tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Following? Any voice break or
Yes.
anything?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Let's see the strengths or advantages of observation method. The advantages of observation method is what people do rather than say. Most of the people, especially in India, they do something and they say something. For example, if I ask any one student, where did you had breakfast? They may say, sir, I just had it in Kamath. Whereas he may had it in a cart near a footpath. Just for joke. Fine. So that's what to check the reality. This observation method will help us in knowing the reality. Fine. Then carried out without informing the customers. So when you inform the customers and carry out your data collection method, then the customer may get mentally prepared or they artificially behave. So that's what this observation method will help you in getting their natural behavior, because it is carried out without informing the customers or respondents. Doesn't rely on the memory or honesty of the respondents. So this observation method, as we don't inform the respondents and sit in a corner without informing anybody, and nobody knows that we are observing them and recording them, then there is no question of relying on the memory. In case of a questioner, if you wanted to ask somebody, where did you shop last time for buying your grocery? They have to think and they have to recollect where did they buy the grocery last time. But in this case, there is no relying upon the memory, because you are observing it. You are not asking anything them, you are directly collecting the data. Or honesty of the respondents. That's what I told. The example of cart near the footpath. Some of us may not be honest to provide the information. They may lie. So to avoid this observation method will help. Potential bias is reduced. So there is no bias at all, because you are observing whatever the realistic things are happening that you are recording and analyzing. Counter the refusal rate associated with most methods of marketing research. Yes, it counters the refusal rate. For example, some respondents may refuse to answer some questions in the questionnaire. But in case of observation method, there is no question of refusing the question, because you are not asking them, you are not informing them, you are watching them directly. Then comes weaknesses. It is time consuming and costly. You have to sit from 9 to 5 around 8 hours and observe the people continuously, collect the information, record it, analyze it. And it is costlier, because one day you have to observe in Bagalkot market, second day in Bijapur market, Belgaum market, Hubli market, Bangalore market. Likewise, you have to travel and it requires money. Sometimes you have to pay some money for the retail outlets for this purpose. So that's what it is costlier. It doesn't reasonify. Yeah, most of the times when we watch or observe the people, we don't get the reasons behind why a customer behave in a specific way or specific manner. It will not reasonify you. Chances of misinterpretation of behavior. Absolutely. When you are observing and not asking anything to them, there are chances of misinterpretation of behavior. A person may enter into a shop and inquire about the product. If the product is not available, they will come out and you misinterpret it that the customer dislike that shop and going for another shop. Whereas the product is not available and it will made available in the next week, the customer will come next week. But interpreted it as the customer disliked the shop, they came out. Only gives partial information. Yeah, complete information is not available as you are observing and not asking them anything. So there are chances of getting partial information rather than complete information. Then comes interview method. Before we go to interview method, all of you switch on your mic and let me know your opinion about observation method characteristics, advantages and disadvantages. One by one, just go on telling. Well, the next method is interview method. Interviews are completed by the interviewer based on what the respondent says. Interviews are a far more personal form of research than questionnaires. In the personal interview, the interviewer works directly with the respondent. Unlike with mail surveys, the interviewer has the opportunity to probe or ask follow-up questions. So interviewing method is another method of primary data collection method where interviews are completed by the interviewer based on what the respondent says. Interview is a process where the interviewer and interviewee will be there. Interviewer will ask the questions to the interviewee or respondent and respondent will answer for those questions. Interviewer will record, note those information with them. Interviews are far more personal form of research than questionnaires. Yes, these are personal form of a research than questionnaires. Whereas questionnaires are informal way of collecting the information. Interviews are more personal form because you will be calling them for one place in a room, you will be interviewing them. In the personal interview, the interviewer works directly with respondent. Here, in the personal interview, directly asking the questions to the respondents, not indirectly recording it or not asking somebody else to collect the information. Unlike with mail surveys. So in mail surveys, what we do is we send the mails to the respondents using email. But here directly the respondents will be contact and interacted. The interviewer has the opportunity to probe or ask follow-up questions. Here you have an opportunity to probe or ask follow-up questions. For example, if an interviewer asks one question to the interviewee that where do you stay? The interviewee may say, I stay in Bagalkot. Then there is an opportunity to probe this question or probe this situation by asking in Bagalkot, where do you stay? In Bagalkot, I stay in Vidyagiri. Again, in Vidyagiri, where do you stay? I stay in 14th Cross. So follow-up questions, probing is possible in interview. That's the beauty. Interviews are generally easier for respondent, especially if what is sought is opinions or impressions. Interviews are time consuming and they are resource intensive. The interviewer is considered a part of the measurement instrument and interviewer has to well trained in how to respond to any contingency. So these are generally easier for respondents because face-to-face communication takes place, especially when the opinions or impressions are sought from the respondents. Interviews are time consuming. Yeah, it consumes much time because you have to set up the interview process, you have to inform the respondent, get their appointment, call them to the interview place, you prepare for the interview, and also resource intensive because you have to prepare a meeting hall for it. The interviewer is considered a part of the measurement instrument and interviewer has to well trained in how to respond to any contingency. Yeah, here the role of interviewer is higher as he has to prepare himself or herself and he should be or she should be well trained because he has to investigate or probe the situation by asking the questions to the respondents and he or she should be able to clarify the doubts or make the question understanding to the interviewee or respondents. So this is about interview method. What are the strengths of this interview method or advantages of interview method? Interviewer can prompt the respondent. Yeah, definitely he can observe the facial expressions, body language, gestures, postures as they sit opposite to each other, can see respondents' reactions. Respondents have more time to think. Here, the respondents will be given time to think. If one question is thrown on them, it is not like that they should answer quickly. They will be given time to think. Detailed responses. Yeah, here you will get detailed responses. As I told you, with the help of that example, where do you stay in Bagalkot? In Bagalkot, where do you stay in Vidyagiri? Again in Vidyagiri, where? In 14th Cross. So detailed responses can be collected. Can get opinions also. Here you allow the respondents to speak. Whereas in observation method, you were not allowing the respondent to speak. Here you are allowing the respondent to speak, so you can get the opinions of the respondents. Respondents get full attention. Yeah, because they are sitting in front of the interviewer and they will be observed by the interviewer, so they get full attention. And it is flexible for both the interviewer and the interviewee. It allows probing or investigation, as I told. Then weaknesses of interview method. It's high cost, as I told you, setting up of interviewing. Batch wise, you have to call the respondents, get their permission, and if they don't agree, then you have to pay something for them. And it is time consuming, as you will be doing the interviewing process shift wise. 1 shift, 2 shift, 3 shift, 10 shift, 50 shift, 100 shift, depends upon your requirements. There is a risk of bias. When you call the respondents to answer, there are chances of bias. They may get biased. Requires interviewing skills. Here the interviewer role is more. He or she should have a better interviewing skills so that they can probe in depth and get the information. If the interviewer is not having the interviewing skills, then there is a less scope for probing or investigation. So this is all about interview method and its advantages and disadvantages. So if you have any questions or any doubts, please switch on your mics. Please switch on your mics. Okay, Martand. Compared
Yes,
to
sir.
interview method, compared to interview method,
Sir.
whether observation method is better.
Yes, sir. Observation method is better, sir.
Why?
So you can deeply collect the information, sir.
Okay. Gaura, can you reflect on it?
Sir, interview matter will be better, sir. Because why means whatever the information we get from that person may be helpful for the person who is taking interview, sir. Observation can't be perfectly, sir. How I feel.
Okay, Mantaya, what is your
Yes,
view?
sir. Sir, interview method is best, sir.
Why?
Because collected the collect information is accurate, sir.
Ah,
That's why, sir.
okay. Meghana, Madhusri, Mahadevi, Kavya, Manisha, Pooja, Poojasri, Shreya, Srinidhi, Sneha, Uday. Your opinion on this? Which method is better, interview method or observation method? Why? Quick.